hello, small amount of weirdos on the internet. In 1977, on May 25th, a little man by the name of George Lucas decided to direct and release Star Wars. Now, I'm not really sure when the movie started shooting. I know that it came out on May 25th, 1977, but I do not know when it started shooting. I haven't been able to find that. Anyway, Star Wars is probably the most popular franchise in the world. If it isn't, don't be mad at me, because if it was, then it would be pretty understandable. Even though George Lucas first said that it was a film for 12-year-olds, even the director of his own movie, was wrong. This man who created this franchise was wrong. Star Wars is not just made for 12-year-olds. It's made for grown-ups, boys, girls, dogs, Nazis, loads of different kinds of, Anyway, Star Wars is incredibly popular, and I'm going to revisit all of the movies that have come out, starting with the very first one, Star Wars, from 1977, May 25th. 20 days after my birthday. Anyway, let's begin. Star Wars. Honestly, I think the original Star Wars movie, guys, is the perfect movie. No, really, I really do think it is. So let's go to the very beginning of the movie and start at the beginning credits. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and then boom, Star Wars. This was the very first thing that everyone saw in the theaters when they first go to see this movie. Boom, just a massive Star Wars right in front of their faces. And first of all, I know people don't normally like text that runs across the screen. However, this text is actually kind of cool. It makes sense. It tells you good information without it sounding stupid. And not only that, it's at a certain angle, so it actually looks like pretty cool. If it was just going up, it would look really boring. However, it's pretty artistic. Now, this movie gives us one of the most iconic scenes ever in cinematic history. One of, because this franchise is filled with those. And it shows that Republican ship, that tiny ship, being chased by that massive Star Destroyer. And this easily tells us, especially right after those beginning explaining credit thingies, that, we're small. The rebellion is small, and the Empire is really big, and we're not doing so well up against them. And so the Empire is shown to be really cool and dangerous and stuff like that. I mean, I can't really look at them the same way again after that terrible show, Star Wars Rebels. You know, that show where the Empire lost every single fight that they were in, making them less scary. Anyway, as we continue, we follow C-3PO and R2-D2. They get the plans from Princess Leia. The Empire's breaking in. There's stormtroopers, and my favorite character in all of Star Wars, Darth Vader. He's just so cool. And, well, he's really tall, too. Anyway, C-3PO and R2-D2 have gotten the Death Star plans for Princess Leia. She gets captured, and I did see like a certain clip from a different version of this movie when during R2-D2's and C-3PO's screen time, it cuts to a scene with Luke. Now, I didn't like this. I like the original one because it pays attention on C-3PO and R2-D2, the two characters we should be paying attention right here. And then eventually, when they meet up to Luke, it pays more attention on Luke. It makes the pacing so much better, and the film just overall better to watch. Now, C-3PO and R2-D2 are already given personality pretty quick, even though they're not living beings. They're machines, pretty much. They're droids. And I think their design is pretty cool. This film is full with pretty cool design and stuff like that. Then we meet Luke Skywalker for the very first time. Now, even though this movie is able to make him seem kind of bratty, this movie still makes him a likable character. He's given some funny quips and some personality. I like how he kind of freaks out when C-3PO says that they were with the rebellion. And then we see the hologram that's being projected by R2-D2 of Princess Leia saying, "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope." Now, the thing I like about this is that it doesn't take the build-up of this rescue mission and shove it in your face over and over again. It's not like we see like a projection of this like multiple times. We only see it twice. And speaking of seeing it twice, Obi-Wan Kenobi, well, in this movie, he likes to go by Ben Kenobi, because, yeah, he's hiding from the Empire and the Sith and everything like that. And speaking of Ben Kenobi, we meet him at some point, making some pretty cool noises, rescuing Luke from the Tusken Raiders. And then eventually we meet up with Han Solo. Han Solo is given so much personality by saying some snarky, sassy things, but also some pretty funny things. And then he's met up with Greedo. Well, actually, Greedo finds him. And in the original version of Han shooting Greedo first, it shows that Han isn't really a villain, but he isn't like a pure-hearted guy or anything like that, and I really like that. It adds to his character. Just an evil villain with no motivation is boring, and just a really good character with no motivation is also really boring and stupid. And then we hop on the Millennium Falcon with everybody, and I probably skipped a few scenes of Princess Leia being tortured, and this kind of builds up the suspense. And then we get a scene with Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Chewbacca, Ben Kenobi, C-3PO, and R2-D2 all in the Millennium Falcon, and they talk, and it's nice. It's pretty cool to see a kind of scruffy space pirate having a chat with a space wizard who doesn't really like blasters, and yeah, and stuff like that. It's pretty cool, and I like seeing Chewbacca and C-3PO and R2-D2 playing that game on the Millennium Falcon. I can never remember what it's called, but it's kind of cool. It's pretty cool. And at the same time, the pacing is still really good. And eventually, they make it to the Death Star. They go and rescue Princess Leia. And the fight scene between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi, even though it's slow, it's a good kind of slow. Even though they're not doing any crazy backflips or stunts or swinging tricks with their lightsabers, or no one's like pulling a lightsaber out of their butt or something like that, it's still a pretty cool fight, and it's pretty iconic. And this is when Obi-Wan Kenobi dies. And yeah. Now, this gives Luke Skywalker even more motivation to take down the Empire and destroy the Death Star. And Han Solo, even though he was originally doing this for the money, at some point he thought of, being a good guy and helping the rebellion, and that's what he eventually does. Also, Princess Leia has personality too. Hell, Chewbacca has personality and we don't even understand what he's saying. And of course, I cannot forget the music. The music of Star Wars has always been good. Even the bad movies, the prequels, have great music because John Williams made the music, and John Williams is just really good at making, really good music. And the ending is just pretty cool. If you actually look closely during the ending, when the heroes are receiving their awards, you can see that all the people standing there watching are cardboard cutouts. Well, actually, you might not be able to see that, but that's an actual fact. They used a bunch of cardboard cutouts instead of, editing them in there or having a bunch of people there. They actually put up cardboard cutouts. I'm not joking. However, this movie still has great character, great special effects, good comedy, a fantastic villain, great performances, and overall is a perfect start to a franchise and a perfect movie. So, I'm going to close off of this by giving Star Wars a 10 out of 10.